One of the biggest problems we have in the security market today is in the utility market, there's a lot of changing of regulations and how they accomplish that.
You know, in the utilities market, there's been a lot of changes, as you mentioned, to the regulation, specifically to take what has been required at the most critical sites and push those same regulations down to the medium critical sites and the lower critical sites, because there's been a recognition that the threat does not exist just at the high critical sites, but really at any utility, specifically electrical utility site.
Gotcha.
So that regulation is pushing down to not only, again, the lower criticality sites, but also things like solar farms or battery storage. These things are becoming more and more critical as they're supporting the grid and they're growing to become just as critical potentially as the critical sites.
And I know in the past, we were always afraid of, terrorism and threats, but now we're even getting, drones, we're getting, terrorism we're still worried about, but there's other threats. And how do we protect and secure these facilities from those threats?
We have domestic terrorism, we have international global terrorism. We have a lot of potential bad actors out there, but they're not approaching the sites, like you said, as we were expected, or as we saw 5 years ago, just only on the ground plane. We're seeing them approach the sites in the 3D space with drones. We're seeing them approach these sites with long-range, high-powered sniper rifles, for example, things like that. And then even the threat of vehicles, right? And vehicles ramming or causing damage to the site.
Gotcha.
And so the threat landscape has absolutely changed, and we've got to keep up with that. And again, it's not just these supercritical sites that folks are looking to attack, but these lower critical sites that now are becoming vulnerable and recognized as potential threats.
We've also talked about, what we can do with these systems as a design, but I guess the goal today is, because when you go to one of these sites and you're going to do a massive undertaking, the funding and the cost is outrageous too. So how do we do it as a tiered or phased approach to make sure we're helping the customer, but we're also able to keep their budget in mind?
There's a way to look at different design basis threats, which is looking at different kinds of threats and then designing a solution to address those specific threats. And of course, we could prioritize the different design basis threats on a scale of most highest priority to lowest priority, and then address those particular threats as we have funding, right? So
Gotcha.
we can work on the most critical threat first with the funding that we have, and over time, as there's more funding available.
So are these proprietary solutions, or they can be integrated to other VMSs and systems?
Yeah, incredibly open to integration with our partners, right? And so a big cornerstone of what we're doing in the utilities market is our integration with partners, and the consortium that we put together called Technology Consortium for Infrastructure Security. This is an important consortium that we've brought together different sensor technologies, VMS technologies, and things like that, so that we can create a complete total solution with not just Bosch technology, but our partners' technology that help complement and fill in the gaps. So it's very open and very integratable to other systems out there.
So as always, if you have questions with any of these solutions, you can always reach out to John. You can go to the Bosch website, or you can come to support@midchest.com, and we'll help you any way possible.